when you look at the clock and realize that your kids are going to be home in 45 minutes and you have no dinner plans? That's me. So my last video that I did was yesterday. And within 24 hours, everything changed. It was really weird after I did that video. I was so depressed yesterday. It was a really, really bad day yesterday. It was just not good. It was like bad. But I wanted to make a video today talking about something that I had kind of an epiphany over. And it's something that probably other people can benefit as well. My hair's so bad right now, you guys. My roots are horrible again. I need a haircut. Like, my hair is just dead. My husband wants me to grow my hair out. He said that he wants me to see it long and blonde, but I'm only going to like right here. That's as far as I'll go. I won't go any long. I'm probably going to do like right here, and that's it. I won't go any longer than that because my hair's too thick and it falls out too much. So, but anyways, I wanted to talk about something that is, if you hear any weird noises, it's my husband. He's upstairs cutting his hair because he is sick of it. I wanted to talk about accountability today, and I wanted to talk about really just holding yourself accountable for the mistakes that you make in your life and the things that you do, and just not like brushing them off. Like, and I'm talking for myself because I'm going to be 37 next April. And in 36 and a half years, I had never really held myself accountable for my actions and the things that I do and the way I do things and the repetitive behavior. And I don't understand why I do the things I do. I don't really get the pattern of the things. And I'm basically speaking from like job aspect that I don't, or just commitment in general, commitment to things that I don't like to, I have a hard time sticking to things. I have a really hard time sticking to things. And it always ends up turning out to be a cycle of grief and regret and shame and embarrassment because I don't know how to keep myself consistent when it comes to anything. I have a really hard time with consistency and being committed to whatever it is that I'm doing, no matter how hard it might get, or no matter what obstacle gets thrown in front of me, or even if it's just like one tiny thing, like one little flaw, like one little thing goes wrong, I'm out. I leave the situation. I drop everything and I just give up. That's it. Like my whole life, 36 and a half years, all I've done is just give up on everything. I have a hard time being married. Like I'm going to be completely open here and vulnerable. I have a hard time being married. I have a hard time, keeping myself from just deucing out when one thing goes wrong. Like I don't, and I'm not saying that I'm like a cheating hoe over here. I don't cheat. I don't do that. I'm not saying that I'm like, I have to be married because I want to go sleep with other men. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not, I don't want anybody to think it like that. If anybody watches this video, it's not like that. I'm talking about, just being like, this chair's being weird. Talking about just being like, when things go wrong in the marriage, like if we start going through financial struggles, if we start having, our kids start having problems, or, you know, this sounds really bad. People will be like, wow, she's a crappy mother too. No, I just have a hard time, and I struggle with it. And like, maybe we're not supposed to be married. Maybe we're just supposed to be friends. Like maybe blah, 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 blah. I start saying all this weird crap, and it's like, and none of it's true. Like, it's not true. It's just life. It's life, and that's the way life is. And that life isn't going to be ice cream and peaches every day. It's sometimes going to be freaking just regular old ice and salt. Like, you're not going to have, it's not going to be fun every single day. It's going to be hard. But in my mind, I have a really hard time with trying to get over those hard seasons. I have a really hard time trying to, and I just quit. I just give up. I walk away. And in the end, once that hard season's over with and I've already walked away from everything, here comes the shame. Here comes the regret. Here comes the guilt. Here comes embarrassment because I feel like I'm a 16-year-old instead of being a mature 36-year-old woman. I'm still acting like I did when I was 16. And I say these things. That's another thing, is holding accountability. So back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video, I will say things out loud, but I don't stick by what I'm saying. I just like, you can talk all you want. You could sit here and say, for an example, like, I'm going to go plant a garden, okay? And you've got all these reasons why you're going to plant the garden. Like, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to plant this garden, I'm going to plant like squash and like all this other stuff, and it's going to be a great garden, and I'm going to It's going to be awesome and it's going to feed my family and everything else. And you can talk all you want, right? But until you plant those seeds and you actually plant the garden, it's not going to grow. You're not going to have anything. Wow, I just had another epiphany. You're not going to get any kind of growth from that garden. It's the same thing in life. I'm just like having these epiphanies left and right. That if you don't plant the seeds, it's not going to grow. You can talk all you want. You can stand there and be like, I want to have a great job. I want to do this, and I want to have a great car, or I want to be a great mother, or I want to be a great dad. You can talk until your face turns blue. You can talk until your tongue falls off, but no seeds are being planted. We're waiting. Like, you're not doing it, And my thing is, back to the accountability thing, I don't do it. I don't plant the seeds, or planting the seeds and neglecting them. Like planting the seeds and just giving up. Mid-growth. You just walk away from the whole entire situation, and then the plants die. They die and nothing ever comes out of it. And you don't get any fruit from it. You get nothing. The fruit just falls off, dies. Because you didn't take care of it. You didn't tend to it. You didn't stick through it. Through the winter season, which is the hard season of life. And you didn't tend to it during the winter season. So when spring comes around and summer comes around, you're like, why is there no fruit? Why don't I feel different? Why don't I, back to the theoretical garden, why is there no fruit sitting there? You didn't tend to it. So when winter did come around and the hard season came, the frost ate it, the snow ate it, it died, and it wasn't protected, and it wasn't being nourished, and it wasn't able to sustain winter, the hard season. Wow, this video is like crazy right now. I did not mean to say all that, and I actually just, my husband's coming downstairs. Dave, I'm doing a video.
Okay.
Like right here. Are you naked?
Nope.
Yeah, you are. You don't have a shirt on.
That doesn't mean I'm naked.
That is the solid truth, and that goes back to accountability, that when that fruit is not there, you have to really think about, and I'm going through it myself, I have to think about what it is that I did when I was going through that hard season, what I didn't do, and why I am where I'm at. My basket's empty, I have no fruit, and I'm hungry. Things don't happen without work. Things don't happen without, putting the work in. And that's everything in life. That goes through relationships, that goes through even having a vehicle. Like, you have to put the work in. You have to keep, this is going to sound really stupid. And this is probably a lot of guys, maybe there's a couple guys watching my videos. They're going to be like, I feel sorry for her husband. I did not know, I just found out this past year, how important oil changes are for vehicles. And I wondered why years ago I had a Plymouth Neon, why she went to crap. I never changed the oil in it. Never. And I had the car for 3 years. That was through God's grace that car survived that long. But it's the same thing, like when you have like a vehicle or something like that, you have to maintain it. You have to keep it up, because if you don't, and you don't tend to it, and you don't keep that car at its best possible maintenance that it possibly can, that car's gonna give up on you. It ain't gonna stick around. Trust me, I know from experience. That car's gonna be like, peace, I'm dead. It's over with, this relationship is done. And like I said, it goes for everything in life. And you have a relationship with somebody, or you're married, if you don't tend to that relationship and you don't tend to that marriage, back to accountability. When I do something wrong in my relationship, I am not going to lie, I'm not the first person to admit I've done something wrong. I don't know what this is, but I really hope I went to my interview like that. Good thing I had a jacket on. I don't always admit it. I don't always admit when I'm wrong. I don't always admit when I screw up in my relationship, or I'm screwing up. I don't always sit there and be like, I'm not the first to apologize. I'm not the first to, I'm kind of a dudeish in my relationships. I can be kind of dudeish. I don't always see, or I do see that I'm hurting my significant other, and I'll just kind of stubbornly just stand there and be like, so I actually really hurt that person's feelings, but I'm not gonna say anything. And I just deuce out because I don't hold myself accountable for the actions. And then later on, I wonder why my relationship sucks. Or I wonder why my husband's mad at me. Or he's not really digging me. He's just kind of like, bye. I've been married twice. This is my second marriage. My first marriage was pretty rocky. And again, it's because I didn't hold myself accountable for a lot of the stuff that I did in the marriage and relationship before we were married. I kind of just was very prideful. I was very stupid in that relationship. Very dumb. And I didn't appreciate what I had. That's weird noises. And not holding myself to that and really getting it, the marriage just dissolved. The relationship just completely and it was gone. So when I got married again and I got in another serious committed relationship, in the beginning, I kind of, I started to kind of go down the road again. Like I started to kind of, and not really get it. Like I didn't really see what it was that I was doing. And it's sad to say that, at 36 and a half years old, that I guess it's never really too late to, are you dressed?
Yes.
Okay. It's never too late it's better late than never to have these kind of realizations. But the thing is, you can have all the realizations that you want. You can have epiphanies. You can have those little light bulbs pop over your head. You can, all you want. But until you actually plant the seed, like I said, you can talk all you want. Until you actually plant the seed, nothing in that garden's going to grow. Ever. And you're going to literally just stand at the edge of the garden for the rest of your life looking at this empty field, talking, looking like an idiot. You're always going to have the same results. And like I said, I'm not sitting here making this video to sit here and bash people and be like pissing people off. I'm talking about myself. I make these videos mostly for myself so I can look back on them. I say it all the time because it is good to look back at these to see if I do hold myself accountable. Because in a year from now, God willing, I look at this video, I could be like, wow, that was a bunch of crap. And then maybe I'll guilt trip myself. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a different situation, but it's good. I like it when I have these kind of epiphanies, but at the same time, the guilt will start to come in and the shame, because I think, are you going to stick to it? Or are you even going to use what you're saying? Like, are you going to... It sucks. Accountability does suck. It really does. And it's very hard sometimes. It's not easy. It isn't easy it's not easy being an adult. It's not easy growing up. It's not easy, going through, you're a big kid, basically. You're a big person, and realizing that you're responsible for your own life. Nobody's going to come and help you. Nobody's going to come up to you and, make your life better and, be like, here, I'll go plant the seeds for you. No, that's not how it works. You have to do it yourself. You have to look at yourself. You got to look at yourself in the mirror. You got to look in your heart. Sounds like somebody's come through my back door. You have to really look at everything in your life. And that is something nobody likes to do. Nobody likes to look at themselves and look at their flaws. We like to look at everybody else's flaws, right? We always like to look like I do it. I sit there and I'll blame my husband for everything. Or I'll blame my mom. I'll blame my dad. I'll blame this person. Blah, blah, blah. And I'll point fingers at every single person around me. But I will not point a finger at myself. Even though I know it in my mind. I know it in my mind and my heart. That I'm the reason why such and such is happening, or whatever situation it is. If I know that I was the one that was held responsible for it, I was the one that burnt down the garden. Like if we had a garden going, and there's been times where this is another thing where you can have a garden, right? You can have a full garden, you're doing good, everything's growing, you're getting this growth going, and all of a sudden you just burn it all down. You're standing there with the match and the gasoline, but you're just looking at everybody else. You did this. I didn't do it. You did. And now we're going to starve to death because we have no food because of you. Even though you're standing there with the gasoline and the match. You burnt it down. You did it. You know you did, but you're going to blame every single person around you. Accountability is hard. It's scary sometimes. It is. My first marriage, when I finally got to that point that I burnt it down, he didn't care. Sometimes when you go and this was a relationship thing, when you hold yourself accountable and you know it, that doesn't mean everybody around you is going to know it. That doesn't mean everybody's going to believe you. And that's because you have to remember that sometimes once the damage is done and the garden's gone, it's gone. It's not coming back. Sometimes it's just gone. And that's what happened with me, is that it was over with. He didn't care. But back to accountability, I had to swallow that pill and I had to move on with my life but take that as a lesson when those things happen, that say a job doesn't take you back, or, a relationship doesn't happen, or take that as a lesson, but really swallow that pill, because you can't stand there and blame every single person around you. That's not growth either. Sometimes you can sit there and try to rototill that garden as much as you can to make it come back to life, and, it's not going to happen. Sometimes it's dead. So you got to find a new patch of land and you got to start all over again. But it goes back to what I was saying, that if you don't plant those seeds in this garden, this theoretical garden, nothing's going to grow. You're not going to grow, and you won't. Just talk. And that's basically what I'm trying to do with myself right now. And I'm glad that my husband, he's sitting in the other room, he's probably listening to everything I'm saying, but I'm lucky and fortunate enough to have somebody that does, even when I don't hold myself accountable, he doesn't like to, and I don't blame him, because he's afraid that I'm going to be a wife and flip out and be like, are you serious? But he does hold me accountable for, he'll remind me about the gas tank in the match, like, you did this kind of thing. And when that happens, the child in me is like, no, I didn't. But in my mind, I know that I did. Okay, I know that I did, but am I going to admit that? No, I'm not going to. And that's the human response. There's a lot of people that are like that. And honestly, it really destroys your life. It really does, and it's so stubborn. It's a stubborn way of thinking. It's a prideful way of thinking. Relationships have been lost. Things have been thrown away because people don't. Accountability is hard. It's very hard. I've had to do it to my husband. My husband's done it to me. My husband's done things and I've had to hold him accountable for it. Does he want to hear it? No, he doesn't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear when they're doing something and they're screwing up. Nobody wants to hear, hey, you're not going on the right path. Nobody wants to hear that because we get irritated. We're like, what are you to know about my life? Even though you're with me every day, and we don't want to hear that. Especially in marriage. But I will say that it is the best thing in the whole wide world to really sit with yourself and have that epiphany. And if you can, if you're able to talk to your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend and really have those kind of conversations, it is a good thing, because sometimes they want to hear it. They want to hear you say, I screwed up. Or even if you say I screwed up and it doesn't go the way that you want it to go, and they're like, I don't care, like my ex-husband did, and he said, I don't care, I'm done. At least you said it out loud. And even though you think in that moment it doesn't do anything, it does. Even though they don't want to continue the relationship or whatever, it still matters to say it, because that is growth. That is growth. That is planting a seed. And it does help. So, I just wanted to make this video to anybody else out there that has a hard time with that struggles. I really got to get going because I have to go pick up my kids here pretty soon. But, I had this epiphany today. I had this, started yesterday, actually. It's been going on for a while. And God kind of revealed all this stuff to me. And I always want to document this, because this is stuff that I can look back on. And also, if anybody else is out there, maybe possibly watching these videos, that if you're struggling with that, or you're wondering why things aren't going a certain way or whatnot, and sometimes you just have to stop and think about you. What are you doing that is causing the garden to burn or not grow? All right, I'm done. This video is over with. I have to go get my kids. So, peace out.